Okay, get this. There's an online university for quantitative finance that does something absolutely unheard of. It bans all student discussion. Yup, no comments, no likes, no community forum. It basically breaks every single rule we think we know about online engagement. So, what on earth is going on here? I mean, you have to ask, right? Why would a school, a place that's supposed to be all about the exchange of ideas, build a giant digital wall between itself and its students? Well, as we're about to see, the answer reveals a really powerful and maybe even controversial philosophy about what it truly means to learn. And you can really see the difference right here. On one side, you've got the standard YouTube playbook. Keep people watching as long as possible, get that engagement up, all for the ad revenue. But on the other side, you have Quantora Analytics University, or QAU, and they've just thrown that entire model in the trash. To get why, we need to understand one single core idea. And that idea is the constant, relentless battle between signal and noise. Now, this is a concept they've borrowed from information theory, and it is the key that unlocks their entire strategy. Everything they do is designed to crank up the signal and completely, utterly eliminate the noise. So first up, what's the signal? For QAU, the signal is pure, uncut information. We're talking verifiable data from professional sources like Bloomberg. It's a financial model you can actually download and test yourself. It's actionable, it's empirical, and you can prove it right or wrong. It's the what, not the what if or why I think. And then there's the noise. Noise is literally everything else. It's the endless, pointless debates about which indicator is best without a shred of data. It's the unfounded opinions. And maybe most importantly, it's the downright dangerous scams that are all over financial content online. QAU sees all of this as a poison to the learning process. Okay, so using this framework of signal versus noise, let's tackle their most shocking decision, turning off the comments section for good. Now, this isn't just about avoiding a few trolls. This is a deep philosophical choice about the very nature of learning itself. And this is where they introduce a fascinating idea they call cognitive cost. Their argument is that for a serious student, a comment section isn't a helpful resource. It's a tax on your brain. You have to waste precious mental energy sifting through speculation, bad advice, and outright nonsense just to maybe find one tiny nugget of value. It's just a terrible, high-risk way to learn. So this decision isn't just a whim. It's a deliberate three-part strategy. First, it reduces that mental burden, that cognitive cost on the student. Second, it acts like a firewall, protecting the integrity of the actual lesson from being polluted by misinformation. But it's that third reason that's the real game changer. It actually forces the student to learn differently. And here's a perfect real-world example of the kind of dangerous noise they're trying to block. Come trade with my bot, 300% per month. For someone new to this field, that's not just a distraction, it's a potential financial disaster. So for QAU, getting rid of these comments isn't just a preference. It's their fundamental duty to protect their students from harm. And this brings us to that brilliant third pillar. Think about it. Without a comment section to argue in, what's a student supposed to do? Well, they have to take the model, take the concept from the video, and actually go test it for themselves. They're forced to go from being a passive consumer to an active empirical validator. You can't argue in the comments, so you have to go argue with the data. Now, this philosophy of pure efficiency goes way beyond just the comments. So let's look at their next radical choice, making their videos super short and having absolutely no ads. Just look at the difference in incentives here. It's night and day. A normal channel is trying to get you to watch longer so they make more ad money. And that leads to what they call narrative padding, fluff. QAU, on the other hand, is optimizing for one thing, clarity. Their incentive isn't cash, it's credibility. So the result is pure information density because they literally have no financial reason to waste a single second of your time. In fact, they have this core belief that a serious student only needs between 30 and 120 seconds to really grasp a core quantitative idea. They think anything longer than that risks something called shallow processing, which is basically when you're still watching, but your brain has checked out and you're not really learning anymore. And this is probably the most crucial point to understand. A QAU video isn't the lesson. It's just the starting pistol. It gives you the pure signal, that core idea or algorithm, and then it's on you to go spend hours, maybe even weeks, testing it, breaking it, and rebuilding it. The video is just the first 90 seconds of your real education. So all of this, the short videos, the no comments policy, it's all built on top of a rock-solid foundation, a super strict, totally non-negotiable doctrine about what kind of information even qualifies as a signal in the first place. They follow what they call an empirical triptych. It sounds fancy, but it's really just 3 simple rules. 1, all data has to come from verified professional sources. 2, every single claim has to be testable against historical data. No vague, I think the market will go up stuff. And 3, their methods have to align with the real-world standards used by professional investment firms. And this comparison really shows you the fundamental shift. A typical comment section is all about debates of authority. People just yelling, "The author is wrong." QAUI completely replaces that with a procedure. They don't say, "We're the experts, believe us." They say, "Here is a model, here is the data. Now you go test it." The burden of proof isn't on them, it's on the data itself. So when you put all of these pieces together, the rejection of comments, the super short videos, the hardcore data standards, what you're left with isn't just a weird YouTube channel. It's something else entirely, a whole new category. And that's really the final conclusion here. QAU hasn't built a YouTube channel. They've used the tools of YouTube to build an asynchronous institutional classroom. It's designed as a one-way broadcast of extremely dense information, meant for serious individuals who are expected to do the hard work of validation all on their own. And now you can see how it all fits together, right? It's like perfect clockwork. Each one of these unconventional choices serves a critical purpose. No comments protects the student's focus. Short videos maximize information density. No ads ensures their credibility isn't for sale. And using only verified data guarantees the integrity of the entire system. This quote from their own documentation just sums it all up perfectly. They argue this isn't censorship. Instead, it's a careful curation of the learning environment. They call it selecting the epistemological space, which is a fancy way of saying they're building a space purely for generating knowledge, where the signal is the only thing that's allowed to survive. And that leaves us with one last big question. In really high-stakes fields, we're talking finance, medicine, engineering, could this noise-canceling model be the future? Is this a brilliant way to ensure absolute clarity, or does it risk creating an echo chamber? You have to wonder, have we all become so obsessed with engagement that we've forgotten the real goal of education, the clear, uncorrupted transmission of the signal?